tuned. Mesdemoiselles, mesdames et messieurs, je vous dis bonsoir. Je m'appelle Fondamentalement et ce soir, je suis avec Elected sur Elected TV Radio. Elected TV Radio. We define you.
Sit down, join us now.
Wait, I know.
Anything.
I aim at a
Talk anything.
Toronto FC.
Elected TV Radio. We dare to lead. This radio like never before. Elected TV Radio. Pathfinder Radio. Elected TV Radio. We are not just about radio.
Join me. This guy here,
All about
Animation FC, EAFC,
British man, we don't know ball.
FIFA 24.
British worry man, we don't
At
know.
least I know game.
Get out. Yeah, let's get the show on the road. Remember, wait. You hear say your girlfriend get belly. Why you just say door? You know, you don't get one phone call, just door. Don't let say your girlfriend get belly.
Then I good news now. You're going to give me for you, Sha.
Don't worry, go supply canopy, go buy bag of rice. The wedding must be done. This is no one went.
Jesus. They don't tell me what. Straight bullet.
We go buy you Sienna.
Straight bullet.
Let's go, man. All right, good morning and welcome to the Spurs Buffet on the Legotet TV radio. My name is Idafe Matthew. As you're going to love to come in the Legotet on the Spurs. They say what goes up must come down. A lot of people are still arguing about whether Messi deserves it or he doesn't deserve it. And Siko, you are here, so our earpiece are sounding very, very weird and odd. I don't know what. Maybe sometimes it goes down, but I'm not sure that's what the listeners are they get, but it's just kind of like weird and freakish. Okay, so your tech ability will be needed to be deployed eventually. Having said that, Emmanuel Sebastian is in the building, and the only man in the world that does not know ball, yes, is also in the building. Siku Blade, yes, S.L. Harry, the British worry boy that does not know football. And first off, let me tell you this, Siku, you're the first and only worry British person that I know that doesn't know football.
Okay.
So talk to us about your growing up. How? Okay, I agree that you grew up in an all-women house and all that, but you grew up in the boys' neighborhood. You went to John F. Kennedy. You went to Bishop Tower Primary School. Okay.
Call the real name.
Bishop
Call
Tower.
the real name.
That's my mother's school.
Call the real name.
My mother also went.
Igbudu Primary School.
Shut up. Okay, so how come you grew up in a neighborhood like Warri, in a town like Warri, and you don't know ball? It's like growing up in Ajegula and you don't know football. Is it possible? Is it possible to grow up in Ajegula and not know jack about football?
You must know something.
Sickle. See, let's put the spotlight on you. You that's looking like Lionel Messi's brother.
Okay, the thing is, everybody that grew up in Warri, I played football. Like growing up, I was always
shut up.
No, yeah, because I was always
You play football and you don't know football.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
So the thing is interest. Yeah, it got to a point.
Do you need interest? If you grew up in Warri, you don't need interest.
No, what I mean is I play
football
football
every day in your face.
Yeah, no, I played football when I was growing up. We're always at it. You not get food, they not beat us for. You understand? We go play ball evening. Mama will come feed, come carry cake for sure of us. Come on. I did all that. Yeah, so it now got to a point in my life when I was growing up, and there's one thing I hate. I still do it subconsciously today. If you make me feel like if I don't do this thing, then I'm shit. Then I'm never doing it. That's how I didn't watch this movie,
Game of Thrones.
I started it before people knew about it.
How did I know that it's Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I started it before people knew about it. And all of a sudden, they are gisting it and making it look like if you're not watching it, you are shit. Then I say, I'm not going to watch it because I haven't started before you guys and I stopped.
Yeah, Rebel with the
So that's exactly what happened to football. And to date,
I did not watch Game of Thrones at all, not one episode.
So that's exactly,
I don't like sword medieval movies. Now, but I feel that I watch like Braveheart, like Gladiator, because it was a one-off. Like when you put that's why like I'm not really a fan of Harry Potter. I'm not. What's that one? That ring one? What's it called?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Ring. Like you can see me see that one.
Aragorn. Oh no, I'm a fan.
I don't watch. Another type of film that you would never see me watch is what's that Galaxy one that Jedi? No, Jedi. That,
Star Wars.
Star Wars. It's no way in this world, in the world to come. Hey, Wale, what's up, Brendo? He said Mexico. What a guy! No dumb moment here for sure. That's the way, the best way to describe it. So I don't watch all those type of movies because to me, like my kind of movie is like Scorpion. You could put Scorpions in 1,000 series episode, I would watch. I would buy the data, get on it. I would sit down and watch. Blacklist, Olivia Pope's Fixer, Scandal. You know, those kind of Suits. I love Blacklist. I like courtroom drama a lot. That's why I love Boston League and all that stuff. But again, I still can't understand why you just go off of football.
So what happened is, okay, my friends started making it look like, they talk about something, and I'll contribute just little because the interest wasn't really there because I was very geeky, more like geek. And they started making it look like
this was like what year?
I'm like teenage.
Like in the 80s or 90s? Because
in the 90s.
People became geeky like in 2000.
In the 90s.
Because there was no phone.
In the 90s, you know?
Okay.
We were having...
But there was cyber cafe, there was computers.
Normally, even...
Business center.
Oruma's brother was my friend. Oruma's younger brother was my friend.
Daniel or...
Yeah.
Daniel, Pastor Daniel.
So the thing is...
So Daniel, let me say something about Daniel. When we grew up together, like, we were like, well, our bodies, like very, very... But he always looked queer. I used to think he was gay. No. Like I used to think, you know, like when Bucci. Yeah. Bucci is bold now. Back in the day, Bucci was not. It was like Mugu. You understand Bucci? You comedian now. Bucci went back and
yeah. We're chorister together.
This is chorister.
Potter's house. Yeah. So the thing is, then getting to 2000s when the wave was really too much of football, we'll be out drinking, and because of football, everybody will just leave.
Because that's what it is.
No, the thing is, I'd rather stay where I'm drinking and watch it.
You're crazy.
You understand? And it got to the point I got pissed. I'm like, screw this. So I started looking for people that don't like football. That's what I started hanging
to pay back with. That's why you start having people like Esmond,
Smallville. Yeah, that's what I started hanging out with. But notwithstanding,
in Warri language, if I don't get wish, I buy land.
But notwithstanding, I still play soccer. Is one of my favorite games. I still play TV.
No.
So what I do is I don't
know. That's a lie. You're lying on global radio.
No, I still play
your
TV.
Favorite game is shooting.
I said one of mine.
It's not even near. It's not even near one of your favorite.
Since FIFA 2014, I have been downloading and playing every.
If you rank Slicko's games,
no, shooting is normal. There's no argument. My most favorite.
You will put like 2,000 shooting before football.
No. Football I still play football. I still have my ultimate team in FC24, and I still play T-Date. Okay. So all I do, because I don't know too much about like physical football, all I do is stats. So I look at stats very well in the game, and you know, most times they use the actual. Start.
Your people do your PUBG, Call of Duty, they don't start. I really it's so fun. Did you experience that growing up in Warri? Like Emmanuel is not in this conversation right now. Did you like in your neighborhood? So I grew up in. You stayed in
I stayed here. I stayed very corner.
It's so fun. It was good. So one of the things that I hate about this Gen Z is that they make it look like that was suffering.
No, it wasn't.
But in the process when you were going through it, like growing up in Warri, let me say this, and I always say with pride, like I'm an Orobo man, Warri brought up, I also grew up in Port Harcourt, and I'm a citizen of the world, I've gone around the world. One of the things that people need to understand when you are growing up, let me even use Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you grew up in Ajegule, right?
Yeah.
And Ajegule, right now that you are out of it, when you look back, it looks like shit, right? Like terrible, horrible place, right? But when you were growing up, be very honest. Was it shitty or it was the highest level of fun
it was fun. You know, growing up in the midst of it, you thought like it doesn't look shit in front of your eyes.
It's what I keep telling people these days. I don't know, because of social media, everybody wants to pad, everybody wants to look good. So there is actually no room for you to live your truth in the reality of it happening, and then enjoy the process. And then when you elevate, when you levitate higher than the ground, have a different experience.
Yeah.
But when you're going through that experience of like me growing up in Warri, up by SSA Road, up by Street, before Onibo was even paradise. I remember paradise. Let's move it down because I started working in Globe Star. I had money. There was everything. You put your codes, do all those things. There was money. Let's do the part where you have to like. So now when we go up and say 1 0 1 or 0 1 0, all those formation, all those formula. But I'm gonna be honest here. My mom, I don't think we went all those 0 1 0.
We actually,
my mom, we were born in the food.
People without money, people were eating 3 square meters way back.
If it is, there's no way. My mom will be doing it's not. There's no way I'm going to come here and this whole my suffering is suffered and suffering now. We had food. No matter how bad it was, there was a window of time where we could have food, we had to beg for food, but it wasn't long suffering.
Even if you was
it was short. It was short. and my mom is like very, very creative. Woman, come on, very creative with food, veggies, meat, fish. Like she could create anything. There's a bagba, there's a riboto, there is sorry.
You don't need much you
don't even need fire. You don't even need fire. But there was always this soap opera experience. The reason is, like, if you buy 10 naira or 100 naira soap opera, you go full one basket.
Yeah.
Then the problem is the fish is this small.
Tiny.
Then they now tell you to cut off the head. Yeah. That's where the whole thing is. A million fly will evade you before you finish because you're cutting it. It's like picking grains of rice one by one. You're cutting it. And then by the time you're done, you're freaking exhausted. And then you use it to cook the food. You will not see it. It melts.
Oh, God.
Like you put gari inside the food. But that's like the fish. That's the fish. But it's not the thickener. You just, it's like the melon. That fish is like the melon.
You use the pack.
It was a beautiful experience, right?
There are some things you see now. There's this
Our audience are confused today. Like, what is this supposed to be?
There's this place. There's this river that passes through that Benny corner to West Market. They call it Asante.
You know,
while I was living in the park there, I was feeling.
There's always tebe in that water, like all year round.
There's the time we clear
it.
There's the time we clear it. The part close to the compound where there's bridge. We're swimming there. Now I can't even imagine myself. But then it was
that water
the highest groove.
That water looked like it looked like gutter.
Yeah,
like big gutter.
It is. It's a big gutter.
It's like a canal, right?
They've added a whole lot of bathroom water and toilets and all that shit.
But we used to enjoy each other.
It used to be fun. Let's be
Morogo water.
Damba.
Leftover water.
Go find Otto. I did all that. See, it was fun.
This was a fool.
We go like this. You see the falling tree. You see falling tree. You quick to catch that edible one. It's called Otto. It was fun.
Have you eaten edible one before? Emmanuel? Maggot. You've not eaten maggot.
That big one that they eat.
The maggot, like you palm wine tree, they cut it down and it's rotting. You now go inside the open.
They're very big.
You're not eating it. Would you like to eat it?
No, even the one there's I'm not in the name now. There's one my
B2.
Yes, like
B2. Like that comes from light. Exactly. It's B2, yeah.
So I can't even see myself eating that one. So
it's roasted. It has all
exactly. Yeah. So I haven't.
It's good, man. It's a caveman's food. It's good.
Looking at it,
very nutritious and very delicious.
That's what they say, right? I just see myself trying it. maybe the way they brought us up, it wasn't.
I've tried all those stuff. Like the one that I've not eaten is when rain is falling. This thing that flies.
No.
They will not put basin outside.
Oh, then she did bury. My neighbors used to.
They will not fall inside this.
The father said I will help them to catch it.
I didn't eat it, but
I
know
I never tried it.
A lot of people were eating it back.
I never tried it. So that's my
You're not for watching stuff. So did you follow this Ballon d'Or story?
Yeah. I
Messi.
just followed the Insta blog, the headlines. I follow headlines. I know it's
So you want to
Messi
follow football story? Yeah, Insta blog is where you go to.
No, what I mean is I
put it to you. You are gay.
yeah. It's just headlines I follow.
The Ballon d'Or is big, so
there were other activities. I know Rema performed. So I just follow headlines. I didn't really go into it because the interest wasn't there. And if you look, I still have other sports here apart from FC.
Well, let's say if the original Warrior or
see FC Mobile, you see UFC. I don't have Megan.
No, they seem to be trying to
Gerrard.
No, it's not the same.
They give us receipt like.
What I'm saying, I
still
play it, but I really don't have. I don't know how to make it interesting, but I really don't have the interest,
the passion for it.
Yes.
Okay, so but let me also share one secret. Like when I was growing up, so I grew up in a house that is. People say I know how to talk football, but I think that my mom's last born, like General, is like the expert when it comes to talking football. And I say that with all sense of respect. Obviously, I've got experience playing it, coaching it, managing it, being in the system. But I think it's got something that I don't have. It's got a memory that I don't have. And I need to give him his credit for that. And so I grew up, football for us started with table soccer, table soccer, everything. Me and I've got my buddy, Randy Obobio, and then I've got my boys, Topper, my landlord children back in the day. Wow, how times I fly, landlord children used to be like up there. Now they call us bros. These people we used to look up, they used to be like God. Okay, the bad children. They're like they see me on social media like bros. How far? I'm like, first off, I'm struggling to answer the bros because
it's like Zeus calling you bros.
They used to be like God, like the standard. We wish we can be like that. They go to church on Sunday with vehicle. They have Mercedes Benz. They have this one. The Koyo children, they also have their own. Their father used to have B2. See how life was like B2, Totis car. But we used to like, we drive to Totis car. My father and I bought one white car, is it Toyota Slick House? Back in the day, what happened to Under Prelude?
I don't know. This thing just went off. I think they stopped the line. They stopped producing the Prelude line.
No, Under Prelude. Like if you have Under Prelude, all those Toyota that year.
Bluebird.
Bluebird. Bluebird was even till recently.
Nissan Bluebird. They stopped it too.
I drove when I came to Lagos. I had a Bluebird. I drove Bluebird for a while. Like it was good, easy to maintain.
We feel like cars that you have and you don't have a problem.
I drove Bluebird for a couple of years.
You don't have a problem.
Datsun, Toyota Celica, Prelude, Honda Prelude, and all those stuff. Having said that, let's come back to football. So for football, for me, I thought, General, myself, and Vereso, we kind of like, maybe I have the nuance more than Vereso, which is only that my brother that came here. But I think he's got a more stable head of the game. And because of that, we grew up in a football house. We see that morning to night. My sisters analyze football just as good as I do, right? My younger sister, my two sisters, two of them. The other one, she's old school. She's in my mother's league, But what I'm saying is, I find it hard now to sit down morning to night watching football. I don't think I can watch 3 games on the bounce anymore. 3 90-minute games. It's not possible. 240 minutes of football or 6 hours of football. It's not possible. There's no way. Like my children will come in between.
Yeah.
And before there was TV in every room, there's decoder in every room, and I realized that it was alienating.
Even if it's Arsenal playing, or are you saying if nothing comes in between?
Nothing comes, even Arsenal's game. If nothing comes in between, I still cannot sit. My head does not. I don't have the head space for it anymore. Yeah. Like it's just gone. Before we wake up in the morning, we'll sit and so I buy cassette. I don't know if you know that place in Garage in Warri, opposite Mobi Filling Station.
Yes,
A Bakery, the under.
I know.
That guy that sell all type of cassette. So I go there, buy all the video cassette that I can get. Or if I'm not buying, I'm ordering from Italy, like Logo Shop, right? We could sit down from. I'm saying morning. When I say morning, I'm saying 6 a.m. as we wake up. First thing. Brush your teeth if you can. If you don't brush your teeth, you just wake up from the room, you come to the parlor, you lie down on that chair, and you put we have Akai video player at that time. You put the cassette, that one finish is a highlight on Roberto Baggio, and then you check the 148 goals from the USA 94 World Cup, and then you check Italia 90 highlight, and then you check Maradona, and then you check Toto Salvatore, Toto Schillaci, and then you check Michel Platini, and then you watch Maradona exclusive highlight on him winning the UEFA Cup for Napoli and winning the league title. You know, you go on and on and on and on and on. Jürgen Klinsmann, Lothar Matthäus, you know, and then you start watching Premier League highlights, because Premier League was like secondary. So you go to German Bundesliga highlight, all these like different cassettes. 6 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10. Food is ready, we eat. While we're eating, we're cooking, we're stretching your head from the kitchen, and you're watching some people in the parlor, and then maybe in between, Peter, the other guys coming, we start playing games. You know, we start playing computer game, PlayStation, Sega. Back in the day was Sega.
Sega Mega Drive.
We start playing Sega, and then we grew to PS. But then again, we finished that one. Like everybody is tired. Maybe one person is winning too much. Come on, watch. Then watch football again till dinner time. Right? Maybe the girls are cooking. Dinner time. We'll do this till like 10 in the night. The break is go and bath, go shit, go, you know, those things. That's the break. Do people still do that right now?
No.
Let me start with Emmanuel.
No, I'm not sure. It's not as easy now. Even like they talked about getting CDs for football matches. I'm not sure I see those things around now. People going to get CDs of football game. I did a couple or two, you know, while I was, you know, still getting into the football. I got some CDs, some final games, you know, watch highlights and all that. But I don't think I see that now, you know, in terms of, like you said, describe it. But it's just how times are. I don't know if it's how times have grown or because you can see everything online on the internet. You don't need to
but do you still have that time? Let's say, okay, they're online. Yesterday, I was watching the Allen Iverson documentary, and I recommend anybody watches it on YouTube. I've watched it before, but I needed to watch it with my kids. Yeah. You know, because I noticed something with my son recently, and it was strange. I was watching Scorpion.
Yeah.
And season 2, Megan died.
Yeah.
And it was lined up. We've been watching it from the beginning because it's a family-friendly series. There's no sex, crazy things. There's violence, but the violence is family-friendly kind of violence because it was good, the force of good versus bad. And, you know, tech, there's a whole lot of tech in it, and my kids are aligned towards tech. And I just noticed that Megan died and my son was crying. So in the house where I grew up from, that's a sign of weakness. Yeah. That's a complete sign of weakness. But in my own house, that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of empathy. So I called him like, hey, get up, because I needed to get connected to that. Guess what? And I was like, okay, why are you crying? What's happening? Why is that doing this to you? And my son said, I don't want you to die like that. And then he burst crying. I said, I don't want you to die like that. I said, no, who? You? Who's you? He said, me. Guy, I'm 45.
I ain't dying anytime soon, man.
What is wrong with you? I took it personal. What is wrong with you?
He has gone to the future back.
I'm working so hard. I'm putting my whole life on the line. I went to Europe for almost 2 weeks. I didn't even have comfort. I was running meetings, this one. I'm working so hard so that I can have a boat, even if it's a fishing boat. When I retire from this thing, and then Emmanuel, Sebastian, and the rest of them are taking over, I'll be having fun. I ain't dying so soon. I'm gonna come to the hospital when you have your children and carry my grandchild and tell them that I never beat you people, so you can't beat them. It was like, hey, boy, you know what? You will still die. And then, so why is this emotional? Were you ever? Let me start with you, Emmanuel. Were you ever so emotional growing up?
I wasn't, to be honest. I see people shedding tears. Not just you talk about your kids. Adults do that sometimes.
I do.
And mostly in my house. Let me use my house as an example. My mom gets so emotional watching going home videos.
That be my mama.
Some kind of emotional scenes.
The mama will bomb me all my life.
I'll be like
all my life living with my mom. I don't see her cry one day. I swear to God. Now I just realized. I swear to God, true story. I never see my mom cry one day. Nothing shakes the woman.
There are mothers you hardly. Even mine.
I hardly get emotional.
Nothing shakes.
Nothing. I'm kind of different. My dad is the strongest. Like nothing gets him so emotional.
My stepdad.
Nothing gets him.
So
like,
I was thinking
to
when
the
my
extent of a demise or something like.
I was thinking when my
I
mom
see tears dropping.
like I was thinking when my mom died, I was going to see him cry. Okay.
So you go to say they feel like they do, but you just can't see him dropping.
My own is when I was younger.
Yep.
I don't see. I was a really little devil. You see that junior, that problem child.
That
was me. Like I was.
I won't do that. I won't do
Even
that.
now that I'm grown, I'm empathic. I feel things now. But when I was growing up, I'm the one that will go and climb tree, wear mask, wait for people coming from markets, and jump into white cloth. Women will begin on no scatter. It's me. Like I was so evil.
You are the Halloween devil.
I was so like problem child, but now I feel things. Yeah, I might even be here and someone I didn't expect just give me like 5K. I will just start crying.
No, you can't give me money and make me cry.
No, when I meet someone like that, so that's how emotional I am.
Yeah, I know, but you can't give me money. You can't give me money and make me cry. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about money. So I'm not used to people giving me things. That's the very, very. When I say people say like, what the hell are you saying? I have friends who I know people, but I'm not used to people. I think I grew up in a pyramid that says I'm the one who give. I'm the source. You know, when I post some things on my status, it's because this is my experience. Like when I say that I can't fuck up, I can't mess up, I can't fail because I don't have a backup. I am the backup for other people. Like if I fail,
it's finished.
And when I say this thing, it's not my children or my younger ones. So in this industry that we're in, this thing that we're doing, if this thing fails, the league will suffer. There are a lot of young people who are at the gate, and me, I'm trying to, like Samson, I'm trying to push down the gate so that they can come in. There's resistance from inside, shooting and staggering me. If I fail, the gate slam on their face, and they will just go back like, you know what? No. We know that this thing is. We're not even supposed to do it. This is that they just deceive us to come and make us believe that, we can create an ecosystem in this league. Because a lot of people have also tried and they have failed. Like it goes back 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So it's that kind of place that I am. But then every once in a while, like when, some group of guys just gather together and bought us generator, that got me crying. Yeah. Really, really, like it was touching because I wasn't expecting it. And then like 2 Decembers ago, my birthday, some group of people just came together, bought cake, and then bought me that Aston jersey.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit, that was crazy. and so Emmanuel, what's the gift that you've ever gotten that got you like in stitches? Like, what's the thing that's happened to you? Whether it's a gift, whether it's information, whether it's an opportunity that just knock you out.
I think it was when I was in secondary school, because I was very good with mathematics. I didn't see that coming.
You're still very good right now.
I didn't see that coming, and I got a score like I didn't fail anything. It was like
100 about
100. Objective. I mean, secondary school how exams goes, objective theory and all that. And on the script, like we do our exam on the full paper, then there's an exam sheet and there's a full where your answers are and all that. So on the sheet, my mathematics teacher wrote that, well done on the results. You are the best student I've ever tutored on mathematics. See me after the exams lecture and all that, after the whole exam and all that. And I went to him and when I go, I was surprising there. Like a huge sum of money. I think I got 20,000 from him. Like he gave it to when money enter and expect that. And you're in secondary school, then that kind of money gets to you, and it was something emotional. The way he arranged it, the way he did it for me, and I told you that script is still in my house today.
No, I would really laminate that. One of the things,
it was so emotional, for me.
One of the things that I lost that I'm still paying was the letter that Silas Ferguson signed. Manchester sent to me, but was signed by Silas Ferguson in ink, biro. Silas Ferguson signed it and sent to me. Now I would frame it like this, and frame it like this one, and put it on my wall. Not for me, that's not a really big deal for me, but for my kids to see that the legendary Silas Ferguson actually wrote. And then when you look at the year that was done, this thing doesn't want to come out, so let's leave it. you know, when you look at the year it was done, it could really inspire my kids to say, in the 80s, our daddy was already in touch with the 80s and early 90s, sorry. Our daddy was already in touch with this great guy. What the hell is our father? You know, that kind of thing that you do and your children begin to wonder, wait, what kind of man is our father? That's why when I do some things, people ask me why am I doing it? Because in this part of the world, everything is about money. Oh, you must do it for the money. Oh, how does it feed your family? Like I see your family there. How does it put food on the table? And sometimes I like, okay, after the food, you will go toilet to shit. But what are the things you do for legacy? What are the things you that wake you up in the morning and say, you know what, money will come, but even if money doesn't come, let me do this and let it inspire my children, let it inspire the next generation that there was once a guy who lived and who did XYZ. Do we still have people who think like that? You know, because the Harry Ford, the what's it called? The Rolls and Royce, the two guys who made Rolls Royce. This was their thinking. Do we still think like that?
I think it's very rare. Of course, you will have people that still think like that, but it's very rare because everything in Nigeria is motivated by money. Like literally everything, and people don't do stuff for free. Let me use the word free. For example, now I'm doing something for him. I know him, and somebody else is like, "Why they don't have to?"
Yeah, that's the one that
I'm guy. There are times that we need him. Yeah, he will be there for me too. So why can't I just do this pending that? You understand? And the next thing, you are just wasting your life. You are doing these things. You have this knowledge. You are putting that there for free. I'm like,
and you that's talking, you're not going to show me where I would use it to make money. I've heard that a whole lot.
So it's very minute. I think even less than 1% in Nigeria, less than 1% that does things for legacy. Every other person is money.
Okay, let's switch into football now. Emmanuel Sebastian, Man City doesn't win the league title this season. Who's going to win it?
Liverpool.
Are you crazy right now? Are you on drug?
Well, if Man City, to be honest, if Man City doesn't win it, I think it's going to be a close call between Arsenal and Liverpool. I see us, fighting for the title from now to the end.
So Spurs, your favorite Spurs with Antonio Conte. Now they have post Angel, Angel of God.
I'm waiting until December to see how Spurs is going to fare. I honestly think with the way they're going, I don't think they're going to drop off so bad that they'll fall out of the top four. I think they might just make the top four. But winning that title is a huge ask.
Spurs will definitely not win the title.
So I'm just waiting to see from now to December how they're going to hold their own, even though they're playing one game per week, no European commitments and all that. I just want to see they're going to hold their own. But I don't think the drop off might be too big to miss out on the top four with the way they started the season.
Yeah, that's
all that. But the title, if City doesn't win it, I think it's going to be between Arsenal and Liverpool.
Would you bet on this City to win the title? The City that you're saying, okay, yes, against Manchester United, they were fantastic, but ask yourself, this is Manchester United that everybody beats. So, what's the big deal with scoring 3 goals against them?
I like this is not been the City we know.
Something is missing.
Something is definitely missing.
Creative spark.
They've lost back-to-back games for since the last time. It's been a long while. They lost back-to-back games before they returned to winning ways in the last 3 or 4 games this season. So I think this City, I'm back on the winning the league. It's going to be tough. Even Pep knows with the whole commitment and everything. So, but it's a free ride. I won't say free ride because once this City picks up, there are 18
games unbeaten run.
There are a team that can go on that stretch, on the winning streak that is so long.
I don't think they can do it this season. But I think that Pep wants to defend the Champions League. Unfortunately, the way Madrid are building this engine, I'm worried. But they still don't have a striker. So,
and you could tell Pep is that kind of person who wants to go for it.
He wants to win the Champions League. He wants to win the Champions League. So, worst case scenario, I know that the powers that be will not make Man City win the title. And when I say this, people like, what is he saying? Who's the powers that be? But that's what it is. Let me read messages. I plan not to talk too much about football. I'll come back to you, man. But let me read out the messages that we've got on Instagram and YouTube. Until 23:10, they say early start today. Only one day we will start late now. I want to make a guys. What people? Wale Simigo Bros Rendo, he said, I miss Siko. What a guy. No dull moment. Yeah, that's true. Siko is always a magical guy. That says, watch all the episodes of Blacklist. I love Raymond Reddington. I love him too. I've watched every episode. I still want to watch more. Alabit Gem, he say Big Siko Blade. I don't know that person. Alabi the Gem. Okay, Alabi the Gem. Also, morning, sir. Good morning to you. You say ha, and then PUBG, Call of Duty. Okay, all this week now your people. He initiated me into Call of Duty. What the hell is Alabi the Gem? Please, what's your real name? Sickle, now your student, your initiative. And anyway, now him bring me enter the courts. Now you see, you guys are from courts. Big money in the building. This person all of now, but I don't think I can recall him anyways. Kind of like new in my eye. Wale says Siko now original warrior. Although okay. And then Rajesh say, "Una won't sell money. No, we're not selling it. We're just having a conversation. We started the show differently." Yes, there was one video called Eagles in Flight. I think it was made by Shego Degba. Somebody stole it. And again, one of the things that I suffered growing up was I go out there, buy all these video clips, and then people just come and steal. But there was, let me tell you one funny thing. You could be losing this serially, and then one thing will just go missing that you will never forgive. So there's this guy called Ashomon, they are brothers. It took my Femi, and I don't know his other brother name. And there's this CD that I bought. I think it's the only CD that have an all-women track. All women. It's a Diva's Delight, something like that. And then he took it and he didn't bring it back. And that's why I ended our friendship. Just like me and Akim Kelani Imbrilla. Took my book, didn't return it. Took Black Cross and the Religion of Duty, returned the Religion of Duty, he didn't return Black Cross. And I was asking him, what's my book? And then the way he responded was like, is it not just a book? Why are you being so serious? I was like, okay, man. Well, no, this is the end of the friendship. I can't trust you. I can't be your friend. You're not responsible. I can't be your friend. That's how the friendship ended. This Eagles in Flight, too, somebody borrowed it, and I don't know. I don't see it anymore. Sister Nailema, it was a story of the Super Eagles before West Ham, and then West Ham had to qualify for the World Cup, but was well put together. But I know it was produced by Shego Degba anyway. Sister Nailema, I say, no, people don't do that anymore. Times and things have changed. Ronaldo, Dalima, yeah, my younger brother is reminding me that the God is back. Yeah, reminding me that one. Itwari, and Oganov was to call Edewo is and they lost that video. But yeah, I forget now. Rajesh is saying no way anyone would do that. Too many distraction. Netflix, Instagram will take some of those times. Okay. And then he said the little man is just being a little child. It was funny though. Okay, my son. Baba J 619 says that emotion is not my thing at all. No, it is my thing, but I mean, there are things that have happened to me that just get me cracked up sometimes, especially when I'm all alone. Baba J says being too emotional is not me at all. The only time I cried was when I hold my daughter for the first time. Since then, nothing else. Okay. I didn't cry when I hold my kids. I was over the moon when my son was born, and then when my daughter was born, it was different. It was a different feeling. So I'd already gotten my visa. Like the previous December, I was going to the World Cup, and then my daughter was born, and then I was caught with whether I should decide not to go to Brazil for the World Cup as a commentator or to stay because this is my girl. And my flight was scheduled for 11 days after this girl was born. So I was already calculating in my head, how am I going to, because my wife is going to be in the hospital for 2 days, which means 9 days after she's discharged, I'm going to go. I don't have a mother who's going to come. I don't have family members who's going to come stay with her. Our mom also was not too solid. And we didn't have a very good relationship at the time because of what happened when my son was born. I had to evict them out of my house. So I was caught in this narrow part of who's going to stay with my wife and the 2 children. Was crazy. And I lived in a compound where there is no neighbor, we're just all alone. So it was critical to take a decision. But then again, I have bills to pay, and I know that going to the World Cup comes with some, very good benefit financially. So I was thinking, should I go or shouldn't I go? Should I call the office and tell them that I'm not going again? But then time is too short to get another person's visa. blah 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 blah. So when the first day, and then they got us Air Italian ticket, and then they said, if you don't have American visa on your passport or Schengen visa, you cannot transit in Italy. I was happy. I was like, yeah, at least I tried. I just carry my bag. Overdose, like, no, they're not going to leave the airport, they're going to sleep in there. I said, me sleep at the airport. I just carry my bag straight up. I came back home, and I was home, like, okay, washing clothes. I was taking care of things, because for me, my family was always going to be more important than anybody. I mean, I didn't have that, so I didn't want to make my children not have it. And then the next day, somebody called my phone. Where are you? I'm at home. This was 4. So you have a 10 o'clock flight, South African Arik Air to South Africa, and then South Africa to Brazil. This is 4, 10 o'clock. I should be at the airport latest by 8. Then close. In my head, I wanted to tell him, okay, I need to go. My wife like, who that? I told this like somebody that called and blah blah blah. They found me tickets. They sent it to my email. Now I should be going. And my wife's like, babe, find a way to go. I said, babe, there's no way I can go. This is Ajah. See traffic to the airport. It's not going to work. I'm not going to go. I'm going to miss the flight deliberately. But I'm not going to leave my husband. I'll tell them that I miss the flight. My wife like, babe, if you don't go, this Lagos no will continue. So you better go. Because if you not go, you're not going to go that Brilla FM go work. You're not going to stay this house. Find a way to go. I call a guy that I know, like they said, you know, these guys that do power bike. So I have one guy in VGC. I just called him like, guy, I need to be at the airport right now. And I have a luggage. I need to be at the airport. I'm going to the World Cup. And he's my diehard fan. I know he was going to come through anyway. I pick up that call. I called him. And he was like, where are you? I said, I do look on, just call me. He said, okay, meet me at the Total filling station junction. They just be there. I'll pick you up. And the guy came in with another guy, another biker, the two of them. So the other biker strapped up my luggage on his bike. Ninja stuff, give me protective gear to wear, give me a helmet, and off the rail. Less than less than 60 minutes, about 52 minutes or so, we were at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Experiences that have happened in this whole world that we live in. They get going, like I was screaming, the speed that the guy has said. See, if I bend to the right, go right with me. Don't try to go the other side.
If not, you guys will just
we're going down. So trust me. I don't want to die as much as I don't want to kill you, but you've got to trust me. And it was on that straight that week. But once I got into the plane, I started dreaming like, going to this dream that this thing that I always wanted to do. Here it comes to do it now, and there is no, there's no going back on it. And then that's how I got to the World Cup. It was beautiful. That's the word. Let me put it that way. It was very, very beautiful experience. And then I was at the World Cup, and my wife was going through all those stress of dealing with the kids, and we're 5 hours apart. And at the World Cup, that is something that I always think about how backward we are. So at the World Cup, there was this thing that says that all the countries that qualify the World Cup, there is free call from Brazil. If you buy their network, there's free call from Brazil, all of the countries except the African countries.
Except Africa.
Yeah. Yes. So free call. I called my sister in the UK, and it was free call. If I'm the one that calls, if she called me, she will pay. But if I call, it's free call because England were in the World Cup and we're talking for long. But then I called Nigeria. My credit is zapping straight. 2 seconds. And the rates is $2 to $1. So it was zapping. And then WhatsApp call was not really as strong in 2014 anymore. We started dealing with that, Facebook.
It's just so crazy. I still even believe till date with the advancements of technology. Till date, because of how greedy about money.
Yeah.
You can't. If this thing happens, we won't still get free calls.
We will not accept the trophy. Yeah. It was funny anyway. Wale says, I know the 2 like Sword series movie, but I like Vikings, Lord Ragnar. Okay, I saw it once and I think I like it. It's I love Ragnar. That Sword movie, but I don't like Sword movie that much. When Kelvin comes, bros, Man City will be good. Okay, that's what they talk. Okay, when I need to consider the fact that the body of that guy not really weak. If he come back and then go back again injured, did he not come back at the beginning of the season and went back again injured? He's played too many games. He's tired, and the whole failure of the national team. You don't think it's getting to him as well. Kevin Durant doesn't look like he really wants to continue playing football anyway. It looks like he's exhausted. He wants to focus on family and then Wale said the bros. That's Spurs coach when he name be like drugs. So hey God, poster whatever. The guy they try. Australian people they try. You know, when you're the first of, have you noticed that when you're the first of your countrymen to be at a big stage, you do everything not to fail. You do everything within you not to fail. And that's what Andrew Pascal is doing, because what he's doing now would pave the way for other Australian coaches to come to Europe to come and say, Australia, they have good coaches, so let's give them a chance. Okay, so that's what I think. It's like the coach that coached Greece to the 2004 Euros, was like, okay, first time I'm having the kind of funny coach come and coach Greece, then let me do everything to get it done. And then he did that, and he opened the doors for Greece players to go to Europe and go play in big teams. Sexy Still underscore Jack, he said, I honestly don't know why Ronaldo keeps being insecure with Leo. Just take life with ease. We're not discussing that. I don't know what his business is. If Man City don't win any other team, but not Arsenal and Spurs, wow, which is at least I plan to.
That is really Chelsea fan.
Now my younger brother, a Chelsea fan, former Arsenal fan, no person who grew up as an Arsenal fan. I didn't tell this also. Which Baba J say Arsenal is going to win it. He said Baba J said I have lost close relations, but I was sad, but I just couldn't cry. Okay, when I lost my mom, I didn't cry but I cried like my own. Like when I think about my mom was a colossus. She wasn't just any like regular mom. She was a colossus. She custodian of facts, mysteries, and all that. And I felt like the time was right for me to ask her those questions, and she just went to the grave with it. So that was what got me crying, because like I missed her. But I mean, people are different. I'm emotional, but I try to manage it sometimes. Baba J says, being too emotional is not okay. I think I've read that one. Let's go to YouTube. Emmanuel, I'm coming. Let's see. KDB could join CR7. KDB can never remain the same. All right. So Aroturego says, make everybody sit up. City go grind this team to the end and then go leave the trophy. I don't think so anyway. Aroturego say confused. Now there we grow up too now. Una for worry na foreign base now Ugele na village. The first time my friend went to Warri, he bragged about it for weeks. See life, you see, we were living in Warri. It was look up, but some people were looking up to us. Henry Murray said good morning, but the house of Man City is not winning the league. I'll bet my money on Arsenal to win, because even with their non too good performances, they still find themselves at the top. It makes me believe that the league is arranged for them to win this season, knowing how the EPL work. Yemi Dynamite says bearing injuries, Arsenal stand a good chance if the team can take the pain of missing out last year and channel it to motivate them this season. Liverpool seems like an unsuspecting challenger too. Olamatu says Liverpool looks like the only team that will win the league because of the much options in the forward line. Now, Emmanuel, back to you. Let's see how you go. Akwasaba says, who say Ugele na village today? Go sit down there, Akwasaba. What's wrong with you? You're trying to respect people. You want to show yourself here. Ugele na village. The place is Afisiri. This one, that one. Come on, Cubo, Afisiri. Ugele na town. Come over there. Do you want to talk with? Because I go for a park. I get one small stadium will be like somebody park a car park. Want yourself. Make that person tell me this is village. Make Ayaba. The person I will person Mugu. This is your body stand. The person you want yab so they for America. They want yab. They there now. Suppose he does say, bros, come on, give me invite for visa. They there they want yab. Ayab because do for yab. Emmanuel Abeg, let's get the show on the road.
All right. Somebody's already enjoying the conversation.
Again in a village. That not be the problem with us is our type of civilization is backward. First off, village not make something. It's not a negative word. The word village is not a negative word. I was telling my wife the other day, say this place where we stay, so this is the local life for Ajaso. And somebody village now.
Exactly.
The local life family, so where they did this road down the road, this road too. Now their village with this. They're not going to that, now their village with this. The thing is, village is village. If I brought where I go for Germany, the place where I stay, Limerov, the Bayern campus where I stay in Germany, my village. We're not close to anybody. We just farm, all the places. You're not able to see anybody safe. I almost say a ghost town with it. A village, now development, not rich. He said this was saying in Adeti. Wale, your mama village, your own mama village, now you the cause in Adeti. I'm sorry for you. The village that produce the senator, that produce some of the top lawyers, that produce some of the top guys in that Delta state. Now you the same Adeti. Sorry for you. I was about saying in my villa too. I just the joke. You are a shit. Surulere in a Percy village. Okay, let's move on. Leave this bites that I hear. So you mean that I say Ugel in a village, you just like Isoko and Asaba. Sometimes I wonder how they made Asaba capital. That's Babangida's wife connection. Emmanuel Sebastian, let's go.
All right, moving on the show is still Sport Buffet on Elevator TV Radio. Just like I was saying earlier, somebody commented, lovely conversations on the show this morning. But guys, please, is it true that is it true that Pinnick has sued Davido for the whole drama?
Is it a football related question?
I don't know why this person is exactly that. Maybe because it's Pinnick and all that. But I mean, he's making the rounds that he's sued Davido.
When people they ask this question, my first question to them is, are you asking because it is a wrong thing if Pinnick sued Davido? You breached the contract. Like I used to tell people that I didn't know that there was tribalism in Nigeria until I got to Lagos. And I've gone around this country, I've been everywhere. The first place where I noticed that, you are not from this place, so it was Lagos. It's like when you go to the US or you go to like UK, that you don't notice that you're black. You know that if you're born in Nigeria and you grow up, you don't notice that black is not a discrepancy until you go abroad. You don't just notice that, okay, being black have a certain disadvantage, have a certain restrictions. That I found out that I was not, I was a minority when I came to Lagos. When this whole Davido thing came out, I just saw the configuration of that stupidity in our tribal sense of reasoning. So I'm not in too many WhatsApp groups, but I'm in a few. And I'm in this group where you have a lot of elite people. 80% of people in that group are Yoruba, and most of them are abroad. And then the way they were responding to it, I had to I could say in the WhatsApp group, and I'm anonymous. I don't really get involved unless it's the ones that I want to get involved with. And I had to remind them that, listen, somebody was paid money to perform at a concert, at an event, and he didn't perform. And he said he would donate the money to charity. And he even come out to say he said he's not going to be available, but you still hold on to the money. You're not going to be available, you've not refunded the money. And then the next thing you said that they are owing players, so they should go and use the money to pay the players. Is it not the NFF that is owing players? When he took over from Megari, did he not meet debt? Did anybody say it's Megari that is owing them? Is it not the NFF? It's Nigerian government also, the Buhari government. So we should not say that the money that Buhari government is owing should be shifted to Buhari. The sense out of that comment first, for a business transaction, is that how to respond to it? And then now people, since yesterday night, I'm hearing people say, is it true that Amaju is suing Davido? Like, Davido is a scam. He should be called what he is. He's a scam. You see how many people coming out to say he's owing them? Somebody said 200 million, some person 5 million, some person said this, and then you sit where you are, you want to justify. What the hell is Davido? If you do business wrongly, you should be dealt with by the law. But when people come out, and then these same Nigerians will be telling you, Nigeria should be a good country. How can Nigeria be a good country when you people have stupid brain in your head? Think the way you think along tribal lines only. You breach contract, you breach agreement. $100,000 is not small money. You breach them, and then you say you want to donate the money to charity, or you want to go pay. First off, can Davido pay Eagles? There is not a Super Eagles player where Davido get money rich. I'll bet my life on that one. There's not a current Super Eagles player. Maybe the only one where you both sign, Francis Uzor. Aside that, every other Super Eagles player get money past Davido. Because they're not showing up, they're not making. How much Davido still say he really gets? Because they use private jet. He got money to sing it. You got money with Chukwueze. You got money with Simon. You don't get money. So when you come out with that kind of attitude in a business transaction, I first off, I question your business sense as a brand. I first question you, like, you get sense at all? You that went on your knee begging, like, oh, use your connection, put me to perform for FIFA. The same person that helped you perform for FIFA, all of a sudden you that time you go beg and make it perform. You don't know say that they also buy these players. You didn't think about that time. You went to beg him to put you on the bill of his event. You didn't go to perform, and you come out, you think you can just razzle. See, like me, I'm not going to go sit in front of Amaju. Amaju do this, but if I am Amaju, the way I go to sue the video, I go swam in such a way that money when he say gets it. He goes, let's spend this money together. First off, the people where they make mistake think say Amaju not get money, and I don't find the pity for. And the people where who think say Amaju is living off NFF money, I also the pity for those people. The truth is there's nobody, and I've said it again, I've said it here, I've said it, nobody feel manage NFF and steal money. You only steal from where there's money. There's some money in the NFF. I sat here, I was waiting for somebody to prove me wrong. Nobody's ever proved that wrong. All these years, 98% of the budget for Ministry of Youth and Sports goes to NYSC. Nobody has come out to say that, for you're lying. Right? If 98% of the budget goes to NYSC, the other 2% so is shared among all the sports federation. How much you want, Tiff? One Super Eagles game costs 300 to 350 million, especially the away games. The home games is between 200 to 250 million. How much day for the NFF again? Wait, remain, because you have to have leftover to steal. How much can't they to steal? You think that Eco Hotel would allow you to just use their name, collect money, you don't go pay them? Or you think, say, they say Airpeace. The Airpeace partnership is 50% discount. It's not a free flight. Yeah. So 50% discount on seat. So all those charter lines, all those access fees, now the NFF go pay. Now what to make almost get issues with going to Morocco. So all of those now, it's like saying that money now for Enyimba now can't work on Tifa. Where money no dey, you want still money where they exist. But when you try to explain this to Nigerians, they don't get it. For 12 years, I was battling the Nigerian governmental system to separate the Ministry of Sports from the Ministry of Youth. Tinubu just did it, right? For 12 years, I wrote like over 1,000 petitions on that. But the thing is, the kind of country we live in a sensational country where some stupid headlines just make people get excited, get orgasm, and then they start talking anyhow. The thing in Nigerian sports is that there is no funding, no money to even steal. It's like going to say, how do I put it now? The chairman of Enyimba is stealing money. No, where's money it is still? When they work, the way they release money for them is match to match. You give them maybe 1 million naira or 2 million naira, match day to match day. That's how they live, hand to mouth. Where you want to steal the money, you buy fuel, you pay match bonuses, travel allowances, and then the salaries of the players come from the Ministry of Finance, the Commissioner of Finance. Go to the accountant general and then straight to the player's account. It's not as if they give you the chairman the money and then you hold it back. How you want to steal the money? But people who don't know all this process will come out and tell you this and that one happened, this and that happened. Even the money that they pay to players in the Super Eagles, it comes straight from CBN. Ask anybody that's played for the national team. They will tell you send your money to your account number to the Secretary General, and then they forward it to CBN. That's why Nobo's money was delayed, because there was discrepancy in the name. So the system couldn't find. Somebody sent me money from the US, from UK, £100 from UK, which before I traveled. I just got it like 2 days ago because there was an error. My name is Matthew, right? Mathew. My dollar account, I think they filled the form wrongly and they filled Mathehew. So the thing was not aligning. So they just kept the money holding until I had to go to the bank, fill form, and get it sorted out. After plenty calling back and front customer care. My point here is sometimes when we put out some things and we buy it, it shows more of ignorance than nothing. So when you put the video and I imagine why I hate to talk about it is it's a business conversation that has nothing to do with sports. It's a private business conversation. And as a private business, it would also be foolish of Amaju not to sue. Or no, it's not even Amaju. You didn't do business with Amaju. You did business with Brand Hill. So Brand Hill, it would be foolish because if you do this business with GPF Media, the company that runs this business, and you breach, I want to sue you. I'll sue you As if I get kind of money that brand he have, I'll sue you in Nigeria, sue you in US. When you they answer one case for here, they answer another for US. You go know how it be. Like what will make them dirty? Because so you want to make noise on social media, be let's get this thing dirty a bit. Because at the end of the day, they'll not say it's uncle that's a governor should call Madrid to settle behind closed door. When I'm here, I'm not go grill. You refund my money, you go sit down after you don't pay plenty lawyers, you go still use those platforms to do video, take apologize. They will know who they stupid or who not they stupid. But you know, people like to do things the way they like.
All right, for you to ask that question, I mean, there's nothing really much to say.
Nothing.
It's not a sports football related question, but I mean, it's making the round, so you can go check it out yourself and read whatever case you want to read about the suing and everything. So yeah, moving on the show. Let's talk about the Super Falcons. Yes, the Super Falcons played yesterday. We're through into the final round, the third round. Sorry.
Who are we playing? The rounds are still long.
No, there's 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, that's long now. That's like 4 games. So.
Yeah, so we cruised to a 4-0 win. 5-1 aggregate in total because we played 1-1 in Ethiopia. We won 4-1 yesterday. To advance into the third round of the CAF Olympic Games.
Were you scared that Ethiopia was going to do something?
No, of course.
Some people were scared.
I was like, no, I wasn't. There were no threat at all.
Now Super Falcons,
no threat at all. So, but in case you didn't see that game, it was a brace from Rashida Ajibade, a goal from Michel Nakano, and of course Aziza Oshola, who scored the 4 goals. So, like players that scored 4 goals for the Super Falcons. But I mean, one of the things that annoyed those of us that streamed the game yesterday was, I mean, the first leg was we didn't struggle for link to watch the game. I mean, it was on YouTube. The Ethiopian Football Federation handle streamed the game, and we saw the game. But you know, yesterday you had to scramble about to watch the game. If you're not in the stadium in Abuja, you have to scramble. And eventually, we saw links from an individual on Facebook and all that. So I don't know what you can say about that. How annoying it is as a Nigerian that you can't watch the Super Falcons. I mean, it's an Olympic qualifiers, a game that you've known beforehand, and you struggle to watch this game, see on TV, even get the right streaming link to watch the game. You know, how sad is this for you?
I think the NFF lack media understanding, and it's not something new. We've been saying this year, whether on air and off air. We've been talking about it a whole lot. Even communication, simple things like communication. That's what's killing even the NPFL. The LMC, the NPFL board or the NPFL board don't know how to communicate. Communications, and Ariwala is doing a good job sending press release to email. But then if you're not captured in his email, then that story is dead. And sometimes when you send this thing to people, it's my discretion whether to use it on news or not to use it. So that's information is also there. But if there's a platform that sends it, the NFF have a website, they have a YouTube channel that they don't even control, let's be honest. And if you have all of that, again, if not even just to show it to your fans, it's a source of income. The guy who streamed it on Facebook yesterday have 3,700 plus views. Mm-hmm. That's addition to whatever numbers you have in your own algorithm and in your connection. So if you have this setup and it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't cost much. Even if you want to use the AI camera that Propeller using, it's $3,000. How much is $3,000? $3 million. That's not a big deal. That's not something that is so hard. And most of your matches, it's not scattered all across the country. So let's say you have 1 or 2 of that camera. It's something you plug, you connect to your computer, and you're streaming on your platform, right? So I think it's something very simple. If you don't want to do that, if the NFF right now decide to employ a 5-man crew of media team that will stream their matches, the ones that FIFA are not, breathing on, like some of the qualifiers, the one for the under-17s, the one for the under-20s and all that, it will grow their numbers and they will make more money from it. But they seem to be very, very lazy, docile, back-seated on that, and it's affecting source of income, because that's again a way to price your product high. If you can show to any brand that, look, I have so millions, right? Because now most of the sales pitch that they do is based on assumption. We have 200 million Nigerians who love football, and 40 million are addicted to football. But the question is, which football? Is it the Super Eagles or the EPL? So don't just come and sell that speech to me, because that's a broken record. You guys have used that too much. But if you have, for instance, I have a YouTube channel. Right now we have 12,000 plus, right? There is a time when these numbers will not go very high. I will sit where I am, get a well-detailed pitch, and I'll tell anybody who cares to listen that, listen, I have XYZ. Let's say I have 1 million subscribers on my channel. And every time I put up a content, minimum 10% of that is getting it in the first hour. And then after that, it goes on. And then plus the fact that that content will stay permanently on the channel means that over 1 million people, and it's a growing concern. So it would be really, really favorable for you to do business with me. But I don't have that number right now. So I'm going to stay calm and be quiet about it. But an NFF that have that opportunity, that also help up to show up their marketing value. Right now, there's no brand that would associate with the NFF above $5 million. That's shit, compared to their spending. If you not decide, say, you know what, we have a 10 years project to grow our numbers to a point to where our website will be the only place where we'll be putting our news. All these ones that we put things on social media, anything, team list, everything will be on our website. Means that it will get a very big hit. You put the SEO all right, and then you put it on AdSense so that your website also gets enough adverts, right? And then your YouTube channel is running properly, your TikTok, all of those things that gives you monetize. It will work well for Nigerian football. But unfortunately, we don't have people like that. We have people who still stick to the 1980s. It seems like we're still in 1980 with a press release. Who does press? Have you ever seen England do press release? No. Like when the England national team is released, you already know where to go. You know where to see it. It's there. Exactly, yeah. FIFA Plus now is streaming World Cup qualifiers from North America, South America. Even there's a game in Africa that is the Enyimba game.
Yeah, the African football.
The African Football League was streamed live on FIFA Plus, and you saw it. It was very easy. My point here is these are not complicated rocket science work. This is not like launching a satellite to the moon. This is the very simple, basic things that my 11-year-old son can set up and run. Okay, so it would work well. It's highly beneficial for the FA, but why they can't do it is still, amazing to me. But there are a few comments I will need to take here. Let's start with this one. Wally says about everywhere is somebody's village, and it says, I beg bro, leave this David Olodo story. David Mata. Davido Mata. It's not football related to me. Akwazova said tribalism, Naim will finish us if you see the way Yoruba boys abuse Picnic. I felt bad. This is business, for God's sake. I don't know why they hype that boy. Tribalism, the they kill our country. That's according to Wale. He's a businessman. As a businessman, Davido effort. Okay. I say your analysis, they suit me, including the yabs. And then Wale said the NFF presidential position be like who they use a Wedia brother name, take the blue, nothing they there. Absolutely. That's the best description anybody would have given. Big Mommy underscore would you say Falcons are playing the Lioness of Cameroon in the next round. That's going to be very tight one shot. Walex O says it be like we they use your name. Hey, they get big that year. That's so NFL. God, what is? That's what NFFB. You just have to be smart and now what Pinnick do. I agree with you 100%. You understand this very well. Oliam says Nigeria is 100 years behind in terms of development of we. It's 100 years is even short. It's sad, but the truth. We resist change seriously. When I started doing this work, I see how people resist change and progress. Like when we did the league last season. So we were the only ones who were using drone, who were telling stories of the cities that were producing. And then people who were other production company were not angry with me that why am I doing that? It's like, okay, but it's good for the league, it's good for the country as well. Like the stories needs to be told. And you know what they told me? So is this not high service? They told you to go and produce a game. Go and just produce a game and move on. Why are you making us look bad? I said, no, I'm not making you look bad. I'm showing what can be done. You can just improve on it. I said, no. You shouldn't be doing that. You're not making in Nigeria. Does Sky Sports tell CBS not to do what they are doing, or does CBS tell ITV or BBC or Bein Sport, how to do things? Everybody find creativity in what they do, but in this part of the world, you become persona non grata because you decide to be a little bit of innovation. It's sending people after you, telling you to stop what you're doing. It's crazy, sharp. Oluwatosi said the record is still long for Super Falcons. So, the road is still long for Super Falcons. Next will be Cameroon and winner between South Africa and Tanzania. South Africa will beat Tanzania. So the journey is fast. This Olympic one are the plan to go. So Mona the take it easy. Yamina might say I like what Pinnick did as he should because Davido was being silly for that response to him. Disappointing on the show he was paid to do and reneged on his contract and transaction is a dubious faker. Okay, Daniel Abana say good morning. Good morning to you. Adeleke Aliamin says, boss, why an MPFL no fit just assign you, give you live streaming contract? I just watched your highlight on Play 2 versus Aimba. It really makes sense than those on handle camera for MPFL Live. So let me explain that part. Okay, so I was raised first off to either you are in or you are out. There is no middle ground for me. So probably that's why I do the things that I do. And it's not just the production of the league. I mean, when I was called to produce the league, a lot of people said I am too young. Who am I? I don't have the experience. I've not done it before.
You enjoyed that game. You didn't know what happened behind the scenes in that game, the whole preparation and the stadium thing. And he just said he enjoyed it. But I mean, go.
No. But at least he enjoyed it. So when I pull up and I decide, okay, yeah, I want to do this thing. I do the things that I do because of so many reasons. One day somebody's going to, like you just watched it now, somebody's going to watch it and see my children and say, it's not your father that was giving the league to do and this is what he did. Because if I see Body George children today, any day I see Body George children, I say, oh, I'm Body George's son. Hi. The first thing I was saying, your papa not be thief people pension money. That's what I would say. I will not be afraid to say it. Like when I was neighbor to Abiola's son back in the day, and Kola just said, Kola, son, Abiola. I said, oh, Abiola, you be Abiola Piquet. And the way I responded, he just knew from the get-go that I don't like his dad. And he said, you don't like my dad? You're the first person. I said, am I the first person? I mean, I know the election. If everybody liked him, I know the election. So he was shocked because it was a rude one for him, like because this false sense of love. And I said, your father wasn't a good man. Your father is a good man. You know a good day yourself. You know your father is not a good man. Why are you pretending about it? And we got deep into the conversation. I said, your father was like a really bad guy, like baddest guy. And I was like, you know all this? I said, yes, because I know. I said, is it the hailing when they hail your papa? Now audio hailing. Papa is in face, sports philanthropist. Name one stadium where your papa built. He was shocked. I said, name one stadium where your papa built. I know people who have died 100 years ago, they built stadium in Europe, different places. People still they go to the stadium. People still they walk. Name one stadium where your papa built, where people they walk now. So you say your father is a pillar of sports. You know what it means to be given a title pillar of sports? Because you buy one small trophy for one competition. Anybody can do that shit now. So he was shocked, like, oh, there's one young man. I was pretty young, One young man who could talk about his legendary great father like that. And I said, look, it's the truth. You guys control media in Lagos, but I come from a different part of the world where this thing, I'm not buying into this thing that you're selling because it's fake, right? But, long and short. So when I do things, that's what I always think that the way I am, there are a lot of people who are even worse or, more intelligent than I am. And one day they will judge my children like that. So I want to always do things well. Again, the reason why I'm not working with the league right now, production-wise, is because there is no money to fund what I do. So they are doing what they are doing right now, and eventually maybe they will find money. They've told me that, look, when we get sponsors, you're the guy that will come to. We'll come to you. We would be able to work together. We're having series of meetings. Even when I went to Europe, meetings are still going on. The meeting is scheduled for today or tomorrow again, and we'll keep having those meetings. I keep giving them free consultancy, advising them, no, do this one, go here. I'm the one who broke the exclusive contract. Like, you can't be doing exclusive. The league is too young for exclusivity. This is prison. If Premier League, as big as Premier League, then they do exclusivity, why would you be doing exclusivity? Some person feel, okay, take for instance, the game in Quara today. It's not going to be streamlined because the camera, the clip that is holding the camera is broken. If there's competition, you don't go see that now. If there's competition, even if your clip is broken, you go find a way to fix them immediately. But that's too small, too lame an excuse. I'm just giving you that as some of the things that the league does not need. And then again, I always say that Nigerians are the ones that will fix Nigeria. The white man comes here to sell his product, to use Nigeria as a market to sell a product, and he takes it to other African countries and get money. He will do it for free here. and so is limited to what you can demand from him. But if a Nigerian is doing it, you're saying to yourself, listen, guy, now my country with this, this is my chance to compete with the Sky Sports of this world, the ESPNs of this world, and I'm going to give it my all. You experience me emotion. There's me in this studio, and then there's me doing production. You saw all of the extras we have to put in to make it work. No, I'm looking at the league now. I'm not seeing anything like that. And I'm just laughing like, if I do this production now, they're not going to use Cutlass cut my leg because I'm in Nigeria. But now you both the one, and everybody's comfortable with it. Everybody's willing to pay for it. Everybody's willing to subscribe to it. But I hope that we will grow, and then we will see that Nigerians, there are the good Nigerians who really are working hard to fix Nigeria, and we would see where it goes. Even the production that we did last year, that a lot of people are not saying is good. Remember what we're doing, people were insulting us. Even senior colleagues in the industry were shitting on us. Me too, when I look back now, like, oh, there's a whole lot that we could have improved on. There's a whole lot that we can do. Nigeria will not progress. We've gone back like 10, 20 years now on that production that we did last year. That was even not the perfect production. So we're not climbing and trying to become last year, which we should have improved upon. I just pray that the money that they are looking for comes in, and then we're able to, to get it to where we want to get it to. But I just hope so.
All right, moving on, still with the Super Falcons. Another, one of the talking points again from that game, aside the whole streaming issue, was
the coach.
The coach, the no show of Randy Waldron. I think, like somebody asked a few weeks ago when we were on the show, asking about why Waldron was absent, and I was like, there were 3 stories that we don't know which one is true or not. But it was official. Randy Waldron wasn't at the second leg in Abuja yesterday, and but to be honest, he was on the sidelines for Pittsburgh in one of their, I think it was a
playoff game. Yeah, they are playoff qualification.
So, I think it was an important game. The celebrations were wide. I saw it on the club social media handle, where I think Deborah Abdul also, she's a Super Falcons player. She plays for the team as well. So the celebrations was wide. That showed you that it was an important game for the club. So this is not me saying that was why he missed out on the Super Falcons, but I'm just telling you.
What happened?
So we don't know the whole story with the NFF and the Wardrobe. We don't know what's up. I think his contract officially ended. Was it 2 days ago? So it officially ended. So we don't know if it was going to be extended. So we don't know what's happening. So it's another major talking point. So I don't know if you have anything to say to that. Let's go. What's happening? We know what's up.
I think there are only 2 ways to go about it. Randy Wardrobe did well in his last assignment with the national team, and I think leading to that assignment, we were not going to, because he performed well in Australia and New Zealand, we're going to pretend like dirty mods were not slinged before the World Cup itself. Sure. So those mods that were slinged now got to a point where it seems like Randy Wardrobe is fed up. We are also aware of the fact that he's been owed 7 months' salary. And a whole lot of other discrepancies that have come out of all of that was the fact that the NFF said they need the technical committee to meet and decide whether they want to go ahead with him. And some conditions, extra conditions, pay cut. They did that with Jose Posero and the successors. So they say, okay, it's the rule of thumb. If you do one thing, it works, you think you can repeat it again. So it's like blackmailing. Somebody blackmail you once, and you pay, right? You go pay more. So that worked with Jose Pesero, who have the African Cup of Nations in front of him, and felt like what happened to Ghana is not going to happen to me. So he accepted, and he's going to go to the AFCON and add it to his CV. But in the case of Randy Wardrobe, he's gone to the World Cup. The World Cup is bigger than the Olympics. So he can look at himself and say, so what if I don't go to the Olympics? I've got the peace, but an American is more respected for the job he does for a club or a college than the job he does for any national team. People don't remember Bruce Arena and what he did with the US men national team, but people will remember Phil Jackson for his LA Lakers job and all the other guys for the job that he did with club, because that's how America is structured. And a man is a product of his environment. Again, Americans hardly do job aside the ambit of their contract. That's why if you go to the US, for instance, you want to sit with a lawyer, he puts a clock and tell you 1 hour is $100, hypothetically. Just play with that number. And as you're talking, if your conversation done the one like 10 minutes to 1 hour, he will remind you, in case this thing is going further, I'm going to charge you. So I think the man is saying like, okay, these guys are not really serious. This is like strike one. I'm going to give them a sign that I can really walk away and I'll be comfortable where I am. And he's doing what he's doing with Pittsburgh. Again, if you not looking on hindsight, everybody has 20/20 vision. you will see that the man already considered that Nigeria might play some funny one. Because again, don't forget that all of these things you do, your history is on the way. People study your history and they look at it that, what can I gain from going to this shitty country that behave in this particular kind of way, that reneges on contract, and there are people who will come and justify it like they do with the Davido and the rest of them. Okay, there's the opportunity for me to go to the World Cup. Let me just go to the World Cup on their back, since I can't get into the US. But I'm going to secure my Pittsburgh job. I'm not going to lose this job. That is a lifetime job, a pensionable job, a progressive job, and go and do that work where they can owe me for 1 year, 2 years, and not pay me. And that's exactly what he has succeeded in doing. Does he still have the interest to go to the Olympics? Looking at the fixtures ahead of us, there's South Africa ahead of us, there is Tanzania or South Africa ahead of us, there's Cameroon ahead of us, there's Tanzania or South Africa ahead of us. He might just be thinking, you know what, I've done the best that I can do. I brought in a new set of players. I've peeled out the old players without much controversies. Anybody who's going to come take over, and good luck to them. But I'm saying that Nigeria, if we're going to go forward with that around the wardrobe, one of the things that I would advise, give a woman the job. Unfortunately, we don't have too many women that are really qualified. The reason why Amaju, I remember when Amaju was going to give Randy Wardrum this job, was off the back of Florence Omambami winning the Nations Cup and winning the African Women Cup of Nations. And then, that strike that the players had where she went for her father's burial, and then the players were on strike in Abuja, which was rightfully done anyway. But then, it cost her a job. And then she was also given a chance to come take over the job. And she said, no, she told me that because I was involved in the mediation and all that. I think, you can't sack somebody who succeeded. Let her go ahead. And one of the things Amaju mentioned was that, yes, he would succeed. There is no doubt about it. We'll be winning the African Women Nations Cup forever. So anybody can come and win it. But what we want is somebody who will use their influence to get us top grade friendly matches, because it's very hard. It's not as easy as, you're NFL president, you call these people. No. You need somebody who know the ropes and the lines. And if you notice, within this period around the wardrobe came, we played Mexico, we played some South American teams, we played USA a couple of times, we played Canada a couple of matches, because that's the territory where he work with the coaches, he work with the players, he works with the federations, and he knows them. So it was easy for, if I call you and somebody else who doesn't know you call you, the way you respond is different. So relationship is very, very key. So when he called these people and he got us those friendly matches, it was good to build the confidence and the aura and the progress. Again, they also needed somebody who will help us invest new players. Since we don't really have a functional footballing league that is producing players that are going to Europe on a regular basis, and the players that are currently in the team were not fading out. So we needed players, somebody that will help us invest players. That's how, they brought in Randy Wardrum to help invest this player and make it easy. Because listen, if I speak your language, it is easy for you to understand me than if I speak a language that is alien to you. That's what's been killing the Super Eagles over a period of time, because you have a group of players who don't understand each other, who do not have a kinetic chemistry to understand, okay, where you're coming from, why you are the way you are. Okay, a worried person will see me and understand why I am the way I am. A person from Kano will look at me and say, I'm Raz, I'm loud, what's with the dreadlock, what's the shouting? Because he doesn't understand who I am, where I'm coming from, the way I see things. And it's always very, very important. The people who know you would appreciate whatever you do more than the people who don't know you. So having said that, I think that the purpose for bringing Randy Wardrum was met. We may not have progressed at the World Cup past the knockout stage, but we presented a better performance. We were like Switzerland in 2010 World Cup. We were not disgraced, we were not embarrassed, even by the pre-tournament favorite England and all that. Now we have reached this place again where we need to regroup. We have a group of players now. We need to regroup and then start working with them again. Randy Wardrum, did he fail as a manager of the Falcons? I wouldn't say he failed. I mean, the mission that was given to him, he accomplished it. Now we need to go forward on this. Do we have the money to pay him the way he would want to earn? I don't think we'll have the money, because again, the government is not settled, the sponsorship is not there, and all that. So that's also another problem. Again, it was also the same ideology that was behind the employment of what this man Jose Peseiro, because they felt like in Portugal, a guy from Portugal is better than a guy from one of these Scandinavian countries, because as a Portuguese manager, you also be able to use your influence to get us to play friendly matches, and then you can just get us a place in Portugal where the matches will be played. There are a lot of European countries that want to come to Portugal because it's central to Europe. Now, when you go get a coach from, say, Uzbekistan or Serbia, there's war in Ukraine, there's problem here, there's this, the whole logistics of it might be difficult. So all of those things are the brain behind it. It's just that sometimes football does not have a low-hanging fruit, so the result does not come out immediately.
Yeah.
So now, where we are, I would have loved for Randy Wardrum to continue. But if he's not going to continue, don't give it to a male coach anymore. Find a female coach to handle the female team.
Right. So one of my final follow-ups from the game before we move on to the final talking point on the show, that the fact that Rasheedat Ajibade in those 2 games, I think she lived up to.
Who's the coach? Who coached it?
I know and Chijini was part of the coaching team. I'm forgetting his name now, something Mahoney or something, who was part of the coaching crew who headed that team, was on the touchline and all that. So, but Rasheedat Ajibade, like I said, I didn't see her getting the captain armband, even though she's one of the old timers in the squad. She might be young, but she's been in that squad at a really young age. So she's one of the older members in the team. At the World Cup, we saw Chiamaka does the captain side, in the absence of one AB. Even if maybe isn't around, Aziza Oshola at times gets the captain armband, but Aziza Oshola is there, but Rasheedat Ajibade captain side in both games. What do you think of her as a leader? Do you see her as a kind of player who can impose herself on the team members? They call her Momijiro, in the team. To her.
I think I'm the one that invented that name. I think I invented that Momijiro.
So what do you think of her? I mean, she's a good footballer, but in terms of leading the team, do you think she's someone who can handle the captain and moving forward?
But she's shown leadership in a lot of things that she's done on and off the pitch, and she's been experienced. She's played in the Scandinavia side of Europe. She's playing in Spain right now for Atletico de Madrid. Nadozie plays in France. She also does what Chiamaka does very, very well. She was a good captain, but I've always said that as a coach, I would never give a goalkeeper my captain's armband. Also, I would not give a forward. My captain would always be within the defense and the midfield. Well, that's me. That's Esiogene Edafe. It's not the rule of thumb for everybody. Alan Shearer was the captain of Newcastle for a very long time. Sim Cantona, captain Manchester United, and a few others. But having said that, I think that between Chiamaka and Rasheedat, both of them are good. I like Chiamaka. The thing is, there are calls that you need your captain to come and speak to the referee for. A goalkeeper cannot leave the goal area. That's my disadvantage with a goalkeeper being a captain, because he's just a figurehead. It's as good as not even having a captain at all. Because there are sometimes, listen, referees, would bully you if the other players. Chelsea is a good example. John Terry is the master of the art under Jose Mourinho. Chelsea would bully a referee to make calls in their favor, the way they did it. John Terry came out on the podcast and said something recently about the rules of the game. I didn't also know that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know that. I didn't also know that the last 10 minutes of the game, if 2 defenders from a team is injured, is down, the referee cannot send them out. It takes genius to know those tiny little details and impute it in your players. And, Kehri went down, and then John Terry went down, and the referee said they should go out. And then he said, no, go and ask your assistant referee. 2 players from the same team and then 2 defenders from the same team, and then you can't send them out because who's going to defend? Those little things, and they use it to kill your opposition momentum. I want a captain who can be verbal, who can talk. If that was a situation where you need your captain to speak, and maybe that can happen in the center circle, how's the goalkeeper going to come and speak? Because that's the guy the referee will listen to. Yeah. Every other person come and speak, my collect a card. I don't need my goalkeeper to be my captain. To command your defense line, because you're already captain of a ship called the 18-yard box, right? Command that area, do what you want to do. But I need a plain somebody on the field who's a good communicator. Rasheedat Ajibade is a fantastic communicator. She speaks with everybody. Again, she's also fun. The players love her. There's comradeship between her and the rest of the player. All of those are the elements that you want in your captain. And since she's been given the captain's armband, that's not the problem. My own is when I see a lot of people questioning it, like, what's the big deal? I really don't need a goalkeeper being my captain. And it's not really worked out well anywhere. So I don't like goalkeepers being captain for my own reasons, and because it's a communication thing. I don't want all of a sudden there's a fine in the center circle and my goalkeeper is running, and then the referee listens again. They spot the ball before you run back. They don't do you Hurricane or David Beckham into the goal. So, but then any coach, Peter Taylor was put into the England national team temporarily. What was his first job? To make David Beckham a captain. So every coach decides who captain, even if it's just for 2 games, who captain. Another coach can still come again and say, you're not a substantive captain. This person is my captain. It doesn't change anything.
Right. The name I was trying to remember is Justin Madugu. He's one of the assistant coaches of this Falcons. I also mentioned Chidinho. So both of them, led the team in these 2 games.
I would personally let Chidinho coach the team. I think she's learned a lot from Randy Wardrum. She's in terms of qualification, she's fully qualified, and she's worked with a lot of young players who have not grown into the Super Falcons. And she's been with these people. She's got experience. She's like the Zidane of Real Madrid. Okay, I've not won anything as a coach, as a manager anywhere, but as a player, anything you can do, I can do. I'm way better. Okay, so you can respect me. And then he won 3 Champions League with Real Madrid. So I think it's the same thing with Angelina. There's nobody who's going to look at Angelina and say, "You've not bled the blood. You've not walked the line. You've not eaten the grass of the game. So who the hell are you to speak? Paul, I know. Peter, I know. 7 sons of Sceva, who are that?" Nobody's going to say that about her. She's going to stand tall, look at them in the face and say, "Listen, I won consecutive African Women Nations Cup. I was pregnant and I was getting hit with the ball in my stomach. My child, the baby of that pregnancy is alive somewhere there. So that's my second child. So whatever you think you've done for this country, I have done even more. I've bled the blood, eaten the grass, walked the line, competed, sweated, did all of this. So if I talk, you listen." Right, so that's the kind of person I would want to see captain the team right now. But I know women emotion. Like I always say, I can't coach women.
All right,
I don't have the ability to.
All right, like some of you who are listening on the show, like rightly said, we'll face Cameroon in the 3rd round.
Somebody asked a very interesting question. Yeah, let me look at it and give an answer. Nigeria, Uno grow. Unai, they like who they they like who they grow. Okay, yeah, that's true. Let's see this one. Aniola says, "Good morning, Elevator TV Radio. Can you please compare and contrast Amaju and the current in the last few months? He's been there. It to compare and contrast. Amaju had 8 years. This guy's just done 1 year now. There is nothing to compare and contrast. Amaju came in and met crisis, cut case here and there. This one came in and met a 3-point-something billion naira debt. There is a whole lot. There's a whole lot. The times, the eras are different. Guso will just, like they say in boxing, you can only fight who is in front of you. Guso will just do just as best as he can do. The opportunity to do better than Amaju is there. The opportunity to, to achieve a whole lot is there. But also, we are a country that does not fund football. We don't fund sports generally. So we've now reached a place where luck does not work anymore. There's no luck working for anybody anymore. But Guso have the potential to be a lot more successful than Amaju in terms of competition attended, in terms of competition won, if he does well. But he's also shown to be a man who can be calm when taking decisions. Everybody thought that Jose Pesero would be fired. And I remember when I started chatting with him and he was telling me that, "Oh, look at what the stakeholders, everybody's saying." And I said, when this thing goes down, the shit hit the fan, nobody's going to remember stakeholders. I said, this thing you're about to do is a mistake that will haunt Amaju for the rest of his life. Sacking Ganacho. He didn't want to sack Ganacho. We went to intervene. He wanted to keep Ganacho. But the thing is, everybody wanted Ganacho gone, and he wanted to listen. He wanted to be, "Oh, I don't want people to think that I'm high-headed." And I said, leadership, sometimes you've got to be high-headed, okay? And we sacked Ganacho. We didn't qualify for the World Cup. We didn't progress in the AFCON. And I'm very certain, I'll bet everything that I have that if Ganacho was in that team, we would have done way better than we did. Yeah, he's a lot more pragmatic. It's not a guy who wants to play fancy football. He wants to be fine. He wants to give you spine and wings and fly like an eagle when there's an hunter that will shoot you down and kill you, like Tunisia did for us. But longer shot is he listens. Again, that's on his part. Fair to him too. It's not like Amaju doesn't listen, but it's different. But I can't compare the two of them. I need to give him maybe his first 4 years and see how it goes. He has good plan. Okay, this guy's an accountant. He has good plan. He's paying the bills gradually, but then they're piling up because as you're playing other matches and then the bills are increasing. When you play one game, that bill is big. Another thing that is shown, that is done, that I like is the willingness for continuity. When Nigeria was playing the game, what's the game that we played in Lagos? We played one game in Lagos.
Super Eagles.
I think Super Eagles was in Lagos for one game at the preparation was
they trained in Lagos.
They trained in Lagos and played the match. play away, right?
Yeah, we're traveling to play.
Now that preparation was stuck, and all of a sudden it reached out to Amaju. Some people was like, "Nah, by pride, I cannot reach out to Amaju." Guy, how you did one? That time what you did, how you did one? How do you get a hotel? How do you get this one? How do you get that one? I don't know. I'm not a Lagos person, and I can't come this thing in Abuja. I'm not even an Abuja person. How do you do it? And before you know it, man, Amaju came through, called his few friends. Emefiele, even though it was carrying red Bible, but he used his connection. People put him on the 60 million, came out of nowhere, first deposit, and then the team camped, used the Lagos Stadium to train, and then they went for the game. Amaju got what's it called? Alan Oyema, and they got that done. It's not as if they won't pay the debt, but like I said, if I know you, if I call you, the way you will listen is different from I don't know you. If I don't know you, it's a question of who's this. If I know you say, hey guy, have fun, what's up? What's going on? You see the conversation is different. Hello, who's this? How may I help you? You're starting relationship fast, and the team is in trouble. You don't need to start relationship because this is bleeding is happening. You need to stop the bleeding. You need to, clothe that bleeding so that the person doesn't hemorrhage to death or the situation doesn't hemorrhage to death. So Amaju came in and did the rescue, but the glory goes to him because we're able to go beat Sierra Leone 3-2 and we've qualified for the African Cup of Nations. Point is that he's a leader who's ready to listen. I'm not going to do compare and contrast right now because sometimes leadership is a continuum. It's not my suffering is better than your suffering, or my best is bigger than your best. You have the best, I have the best.
All right. So final round, third round of the Olympic qualifiers. Ghana taking on Zambia. Tunisia will take on Morocco. Of course, Cameroon will take on Nigeria, and the winner from that game will take on the winner between Tanzania
and South Africa.
So 2 more rounds to go for the Olympic qualifiers.
So just say South Africa qualifies. We're going to play against 2 teams who want to see Nigeria lose by all means.
We'll keep our fingers crossed because Cameroon will be an easy one. It will be really difficult.
We'll beat Cameroon. We'll beat Cameroon.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for that one. Finally, on the show, our final talking point.
There's still another talking point.
We got some. We have to talk about it. We promise our listeners to talk about it today. And we've got some MPFL games today and tomorrow. We'll look out for midweek games in the MPFL. But let's talk about Eimba and Finidi George. Now, Eimba head coach Finidi George finally lifted the lead on issues surrounding the club's loss to Wydad in the African Football League. We also the build up to that game, the whole drama and everything. But in an interview with some journalists, Finidi George, came out on all guns blazing, going back at the management. This was after the management released a statement that the club should sit up, that the show in the AFL was embarrassing and stuff like that. This was what Finidi George came out to say, and I quote, on players' recruitment and squad quality. This was what he said. He said, at the level of the AFL, that's the African Football League, you must have a strong squad to stand any chance. We lost our top scorer, that's Emeka Obioma, and our highest assist provider, Sadiq Abubakar. We also lost so many other top players whose experience would have been needed in the AFL, but nothing was done to replace them right. He went on and said, we didn't have any business losing many of those players, maybe apart from Emeka Obioma, who had some big opportunities abroad. Sadiq Abubakar and Fatah were willing to stay, but the club did not show seriousness in keeping them. You don't lose such players when you are preparing for a competition as big as the African Football League. He went on, the current Eimba team for this season can only compete in the NPFL. This is Finidi George now saying his team can only compete in the NPFL and not on the continent. We are not at the level of Wydad. We have to focus on the league. We need to replace the players who left adequately. Out of 19 new players that were brought in, I had knowledge of only 4 of them. When I saw the quality of the players that were brought in, I called Emery, the sporting director, and asked what the target for the season is. He said it is just to stabilize in the league, as the focus is to settle down first. Now, how do you sign 19 players and your coach had knowledge of only 4 of them? I don't know how that happened. So he went on. I mean, Finidi was going and going. So when you bring in new players that have no history in the league and did not even perform well in their previous club or anywhere, to a top club like Eimba, how do you compete with a club like Wydad, which has national team players and lots of players that have played in Europe and competed at the highest level? We don't have the squad to complete at such level. I mean, I can go on and on about player registration. He went on and said, ideally, before registering players for any competition, the coaches must be consulted to submit the list. But that wasn't the case here. For whatever flimsy reason, we were not consulted, and they did the registration themselves. As a result, some of the players we would have needed were not registered. It was much later that the sporting director just sent us a list of players that they had already registered. After the first leg, that's the game against Wydad, they dropped some of the players from traveling for the second leg in
But who
Casablanca.
does that? How can a club drop players and not the
So,
coach?
claiming that they couldn't get them visas. We had to protest it strongly before it was rectified. We later found out that there was more to it. Can you imagine that we went for such a game without the goalkeeping and fitness coaches? Myself and Yema were the only coaches that traveled for that game. So this is more like, you're depleting the side already. So it was very strange to finish the job. Everyone has to put interest of the club first, because until this is done, we would only be joking. So I mean, it went on and on, and I can go on and on if you want me to. But from this first bit that I've said, I mean, Felix George doesn't look like a happy man. So with this few bit that I've said, I don't know what.
Why am I laughing at
to say about this before I go on to the final?
I'm stupid, right?
because I mean, this is a loss for the club. Happening to club as big as Eimba, I mean, there's really fire on
The thing is, we in this part of the world don't know when the club have diminished and have gone very, very low. Okay, so we're still judging Eimba from the 2003, 2004 CAF Champions League winners. Yes, the 9 times the winners of the Nigerian League. Nobody's going to take that away from them. It's just like saying that Nottingham Forest are 2-time Champions League winners, so they should be treated like Real Madrid or any other Champions League winning team. Obviously, no, you can't do that. You have to look at the current proceedings, because we always see that football is about current result, current activities. And you might ride a beautiful time, winning the CAF Champions League twice. And I remember back in the day, I used to say that my problem with Eimba's success is that it's not built on a solid foundation. So there's something that's going to always go wrong. And then when the government came out there and said that, okay, money shouldn't be taking the glory of winning the championship, the second title, that they know what they did. I just said, yeah, well, you see, this is what I'm saying. In Ametana, Konyotana, as my people will say in Roboland. The thing is, they didn't build any structure. So go back to Kanuako coming in. First off, we are here fighting in court about the credibility of the man voted in the hands of affair, his result not being his result, blah, blah, blah. And then we bring in a club like Eimba, which I want to value Eimba now. Let me say Eimba is a $1 billion football club. Its goodwill, its antecedent, its history, pedigree, and all that. Let's put it at $1 billion, which is not that's too much. Let's say $500 million. Okay, so it's a Fortune 500 club. And anybody, this business that I'm running out of my own bootstrapping shoelace, I will never give this business to somebody who doesn't have a master's degree in business administration and also have shown good news in marketing, because that's what this represents. Every other thing, the media side we can do, but if I want to put somebody now to come and run it as a CEO when the funding is there, that's what I'll look at for. You give a Fortune 500 club and put it in the hands of a stark illiterate. That's what it is. I don't care what anybody says, but that's what it is. I'm not dissing Kanwako or discussing the business of Eimba. You put it in the hands of a stark illiterate. Now, let me tell you something about footballers that a lot of people have never considered. From a very tender age, everybody who's turned out to be a professional footballer have everything done for them. A coach tells you when to run, when not to run, when to sleep, when not to sleep, what to eat, what not to eat, how to run, how to jog, how to play. That's how your life is. Then when you go pro, there is a bus available for you to go anywhere you want to go. There is somebody who's doing your passport. Somebody is, when you start playing for the national team, somebody's taking care of your flights, everything, somebody takes care of it for you. So like 40 years of your life, everything you done, hand you over from your parents to you playing professional football, everything is done for you by somebody else. That's not the guy you want to give a business to run. It's the biggest mistake you would do. You know who you want to give a business to run? Somebody who's been grinding on the street, somebody who's gone to school, somebody who's learned the art, and then somebody who's gone into business, who's run business. I would give somebody who's run a lot of business and failed, but he's got the know-how, because from his mistake, he would build a business for me. But when you give people like this, that's why when you look at majority of sportsmen in the US, where the example is very big, like the guys, what they do is they use their name to source for fund and give capable and competent people to run their businesses. Magic Johnson have a lot of franchise have a Starbucks franchise in the black neighborhood, have this one. But it's not the CEO, it's not the chief, it's not the one who runs the business. There are other people that run it. When you put somebody like Kanu Nwankwo as the chairman of a club, you are the de facto administrator of that club. You're the one who calls the shot, who decide who gets signed, who get hired, where we go and play, who do all the logistics and all that. Kanu Nwankwo does not know how to do that because all his life, people have been responsible for doing that for him, and I'm not sure he's learned how to do it. So when you not put him in a big club like that, you have provided a recipe for failure. Is Kanu a bad person? No, it's not a bad person. Kanu just does not have the competence. The thing with Kanu Nwankwo is a conglomerate of monkeys buying a fish or employing a fish and expecting it to master the act of climbing a tree, or a conglomerate of fish buying a monkey and expecting it to understand the dynamics of strutting, swimming, diving, deep diving, and all that in the ocean. There's going to be calamity. There's going to be failure because it's never going to work. It's an interregnum, as they say in law. It's never going to work. That's exactly what's happening with Enyimba. And if guys not taking, Canopilas got relegated a couple of seasons ago. Enyimba will be relegated and nothing is going to happen. The league will still move on. Everybody will be fine. The appointment of Kanu Nwankwo at the time that he also appointed him was very, very rubbish. For the very first time, INC fought very, very hard to get the stake deal through. INC fought very, very hard to make Enyimba. See, Enyimba got into the African Football League through the back door. They weren't qualified. There were teams that originally CAF didn't even put them in there. So INC, Amaju pushed all the buttons that he needed to push, and Enyimba was called in because of the old history, not the coefficiency. Yeah. And then they got in there, they have $1 million. Once the people hear that, oh, $1 million is coming, oh, INC is not from our political party. Who cares? Who gives a damn about which political party you come from? Let this man do the proper research. You see this thing that they've done. Enyimba may be going through hell. Last season, Enyimba won the title with zero budget. They don't have money. I was in Uyo. Michael Ajayi was in Uyo when Enyimba came to play Rivers United in the FA Cup. Enyimba, the biggest club in the land, came on match day. After the match, drove back to Aba because they could not even afford to stay in hotel. Hotel of 7,000 naira a room. They couldn't afford to stay in it. You know, that's how bad it was for them. But they managed it and managed it and managed. When they came for the Super Four, you know where they stayed? They stayed in one of the, like Rivers United was staying in VI, Ahmed Onugodu, behind law school. Enyimba was staying inside Lagos Island, the market, Idumuta, inside Idumuta. If you see the place they were staying, Jesus, like what Iwari would call a shower hotel. That's what they were staying, just to go through Super 6, and then they won it. You know where Remo, you know how Remo is. Remo is top of the line, and then the other teams. But Enyimba was staying in the dungeon. You understand? Where in the manger, where Jesus was born. But then he came out and won. That's how a good manager manages a bad situation and get through it. Storms will come. I don't care who you are, whether you are Barcelona, Real Madrid, storms will come. It is how you ride the storm that shows your managerial acumen. People that have learned on the job. To throw Kanu Nwankwo just straight from, you know, the street, infancy, to go and run that business was always a recipe for disaster. If Kanu Nwankwo wanted to run a football club, should have. I mean, Kanu Nwankwo ran Popular FC and failed. People don't forget, say, Popular FC 19. Where's the team now? Not doing anything again. So Kanu Nwankwo should have been given maybe Abia Warriors, other teams, so even understand the dynamics of the league, the logistics of traveling for matches, how it works, before you now go throw him into a team that would need to go and play CAF competition. We forgot that they've been knocked out of the CAF Champions League. Then they went into the African Football League again, got knocked out, you know, 4-0 on aggregate and all that. So if you look at it, it's a marriage made in hell. It was never going to work. And I'm sorry that this is happening, fans of Enyimba. And some people, I even see some people under this comment where this thing was posted, and they were saying that Finidi knows Sabi coach. Yeah, he knows Sabi coach. He won you the league last season. He said this one is team. He considered the least number of goals last season. That's as he knows Sabi reached, the ship was steady. It was hiding on the wings of INC. Then why did you remove INC if it was hiding on the wings of INC? And you go and bring in Umumbi small boy. You go bring in Tata to come and run a club as big. Enyimba might be small club, glorified grassroots club, as some people call them, but they were the biggest glorified grassroots club in Nigeria. And the people who always use Remo Stars and Sporting Lagos as a measurement for football in Nigeria. Enyimba is bigger than those two clubs combined. So nobody should even say anything. The poorest earning player in Enyimba still earn more than the highest earning players in those two clubs. And anything we want to judge, the players that play for Remo Stars and Sporting Lagos, all of them, if Enyimba make offer to them to come and sign for them, all of them go wrong with Enyimba. Remo Stars and Sporting Lagos cannot buy the best players in Enyimba. Let's put the facts on the table and understand all of that. So all those conversations are just banter on the street. But the truth is, we've thrown the clubs to the hands of the wolves, and they are treating it just the same way. Ayana is always seen where you have a lion does not mean an Ayana is a lion. That's just the basic truth. Kanawako is an ex-footballer. I've always said that I will not trust any ex-footballer, especially the Nigerian ex-footballer, because listen, there is education. Playing football is an art. Managing it is science. And in science, if you mix the wrong chemicals, the lab get burnt. That's just a fact. In art, you can draw jaga jaga and you will lie that is abstract. People go buy them. Right? Then somebody else will draw something and say that's Mona Lisa. People go still buy them. But in science, you have to have a proven formula that works. That's what science is all about. And management, whether from coaching, when you start entering management, it is science. I have not seen any player that gets a badge to be a footballer. Say, oh, you have to have a CAF license to become a footballer. But when you become a coach, you have to have at least NIS badge, NIS license certification. Why do you think that is? They don't say, oh, you're an ex-footballer, or you just go and become a coach. You must go get a license. It means that no matter how you play the ball, nobody trusts you to be able to work in the science lab. You have to be certified fit enough. An institution needs to certify you. When you do any, they'll call those institutions to question. Have you ever seen an institution certify a player before they play football? Yeah. Anybody? Some people are even late bloomers. The Unai of this world, the Jamie Vardy's of this world, Tradinis of this world, they are late bloomers. Nobody say, oh, you have to certify them first. But when it comes to coaching or management, you need certification. And Kanawako does not have any certification that qualifies him to coach a team as big as Eimba. When you want to play on the continent, when you play on the continent, first off, try and understand that you become a man who master the act of logistics. You have to travel. Your team will travel, and in the African terrain, if you understand Africa very well, sometimes you're going to Tunisia, but you have to go to Dubai first or Qatar first before you come. You have to understand all those flight paths. You have to know how many planes travel on that route and which one is affordable for you, the kind of budget that you have. Take, for instance, I was going to Germany. I had to go to Amsterdam first. You know what? The trip, a flight from Nigeria to Germany was 2.5 million at the time I wanted to buy a ticket. I don't have that 2.5 million to throw in. Okay, a round trip. We are going and coming, a return ticket. But I have a ticket that gives me 1.4 million to travel Nigeria to Amsterdam to anywhere I want to go. So far, I don't enter Europe, right? I will still end up in Germany. And I like 2.5 million from Germany straight when I can enjoy the rest of Europe and I see a few other people go to Super Eagles camp and I'll spend less. I went that way. You have to know all of this. There are details you need to know. When I went to Europe, I realized that you can buy flight tickets $30 from, say, Portugal to Paris. If I was going to, and I asked somebody to also check that same ticket in Nigeria, it was 400,000 naira. You see the difference now. But having someone in Europe, Omar Katuba, who knows all of these little tricks, made my journey easy. So you see me travel, somebody who's traveling in Nigeria will buy all the tickets straight and I spend more. I don't get that time. I don't get that kind of money. So you must have those knowledge in managing a football club as big as Eimba. Unfortunately, Kanwako does not have it. Ekweme, whatever it is, I'm not even going to blame him because when something happens at Spurs, who do you blame? Is it not an 11? Who is he? Is he not the chairman? So Kanwako is also the chairman of Eimba. Why are people calling Ekweme as if Ekweme is a problem? You want to tell me you already start with 19 players and Kanwako is not aware of it? And let's not even talk about that one that right now you're the chairman of Eimba and you are posting Arsenal everywhere. It's your former club, but right now you have a job to do. Please do the job and be responsible about it. This is not hello, my country people. Something about that. You've been a footballer before. Let's get past that one and do this job. And this is the way they do. This is 6 months from now. Kanwako will grant an interview and tell you that he would rather watch the Premiership than watch the Nigerian League. I'm telling you that. You will see it. When you get fired, you will see now. Kanwako will do an interview. He will go and do a trophy tour and tell you, maybe somewhere in Mozambique, and tell you that he would rather watch the English Premier League than watch the Nigerian League.
Somebody commented on this platform. He said, if these things continue like this, I'm not sure if Finidi George will still be in the job before the end of the NPFL season.
Well, it will be good. What I don't want is for him to resign because somebody sent me a message that why is Finidi George? Finidi George is your guy. Tell him to resign. And I say, Arsene Wenger resigned. Arsene Wenger, when they were not signing the players that they wanted, when the teams were not going well, did he ever resign? Unai Emery, did he resign? Jose Mourinho, you don't ever see any coach they resign for Europe because it's quick to say, oh, resign. People they resign these days for football. Man resign, they're not giving my food. When Graham Potter was digging the grave of Chelsea, did he resign? He went for him to be fired. So why would Finidi George resign? No, resign for what? On what ground should he resign? But the thing is, I'm not even blaming Finidi. If you restart 19 players and only 4 I know, what you get in short, they should go on a series of losing. I mean, I would set up a team where we say you lose the match like 10-0 from home. Never say anything.
All right. In case you're wondering, Finidi George will lead his Aba players. They face Niger Tornadoes today in the NPFL. I mean, this is after their road trip. I just wonder how they would handle this game today against Niger Tornadoes. But we wish Aba well. We wish them well in the game later tonight because the Giants good, man. The whole traveling and get to play Niger Tornadoes. Who will be looking to get one today, especially after they were being robbed of a draw at the least in the game against Sporting Lagos this past weekend. Other games in the NPFL before we wrap up to look forward to today and tomorrow. Be United against the Sunshine Stars against Abia Warriors, Niger Tornadoes against Aba, like I talked about, Plateau United against Casino United, Accra United up against Sporting Lagos, Heartland take on Rivers United, Canopilas we're taking on Bayelsa United. Tomorrow we see Lobby Stars take on Enugu Rangers, and of course we have another installment of the Southwest Derby today, Remo Stars against Shooting Stars right there in Ikenne. So those are the games to look forward to.
Are you going to Ikenne?
No, I'm not. That game is
maybe Timothy then will be there.
Yeah, I think
Rajers might be there too.
He will be there. So another Southwest Derby to look forward to. So quickly, your thoughts from these games today and tomorrow before we wrap up.
I'm hoping that Akwa United, after getting a draw in Benin, will be able to get something out of this one. I don't want Fatah Show to be sacked. I think stability is also good for that team. I think Sunshine have a chance to beat Abia Warriors. They could get that one. Kano Pillars, Bayelsa United. Bayelsa United have shown that they are not good travelers on the road. And to travel from Bayelsa to Kano is a long distance. So I give Kano Pillars a 1-0 win in that one. If they score more goals, it will be surprising. Remo Stars Shooting Stars is the Oracle versus Ijabor.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close one. Shooting Stars are not doing bad, but I think Sikiru Alimi would just be the spoiler in this one. I give it to Remo Stars to win. Tornadoes should beat Enyimba. Enyimba in misery, but then in football, a club in crisis is not a team to play against. Yeah, because they just want to use you to set things right, and this might just happen. Kwara United, Sporting Lagos. I think Kwara United will be Sporting Lagos. It's going to be a close one. But I think Kwara United at home are not an easy team to beat. I'm going to go with Kwara United to win that one. I hope that Aqua United wins. Kobe United are also not an easy team to play against, but I hope that they win. Heartland Rivers United. Heartland are not looking good. Rivers United should be able to win this one, but then again, Rivers United are difficult to trust. I'll go with probably a draw in this game. Probably. Lobby Stars, Rangers. You know that my team for this season is already Rangers. So as hard as it is to beat Lobby Stars, I'll go for Rangers to win or draw the game at worst case scenario.
All right, and with that is a wrap on the show today. Thank you so much for everyone who's locked in with us, tuned in, sending comments, and we really appreciate you.
Did you really do 2 hours?
We did actually. We did 2 hours. I don't know if you see how many comments it takes.
No.
Then it's a wrap today. Till we come away again next time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Ozed Igalo, good morning and God bless you. Thank you for coming. Every other person, thank you for joining in with your comment. Ugochukwu Unwachinemeli Stanley says former players like Mike Emenalo and Sheila Fujana went to educate themselves. Judge Wellfield, in his previous attempt to becoming president, and decided to go to school, and that school was Harvard. For our own, the story is as your guess is as good as mine. My name is Edafe Matthews. You love to come in the Elegote on Sports. It's been the Sports Buffet on Elegote TV Radio. I want to say massive congratulations to my friend and brother Sam Mbono for picking up an award in the US for what he does in the media, like us as well. Congratulations to him, and thank you to you, Emmanuel Sebastian, for making it happen. Unfortunately, he's not going to be here tomorrow. He's got some commitment to take care of. The girlfriend of his dog just got pregnant, so they need him to come sort out some hospital bills. So he's going to go, and the dog went very far to play away match, so he needs to go deal with that as he's leaving. But thank you very much for being around.
All right.